percussion. What you did just right there. Taking that, hitting it with another stick, that's indirect percussion. So anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and do some work on this point. Try to not screw it up by talking so much. So you can just be a spectator right now, and I'll make some comments as I go along. Now this is wood. We'll go to my sausage insert that is here's another type of insert. I'll get to that later on, how that's effective, the one that's a knife shaped hinge. And so this sausage one is inspired by the very small drifts that are discovered. And I'll go ahead, and I was using this last night. You don't really have to do this too much, you know, but usually have a bigger piece. It's a bigger piece of sandstone to grind my stuff down. And obviously when you're starting out, I mean, you're going to be using other stuff, you know, you can sharpen your stuff up obviously with different tools. Main thing is that your tool is consistent. What's interesting is the usage that's on these, that little drift of tool, you know, tool drift of edge drift, I should say, from the travel of the scar flakes that are going up along this. Kind of like what I'm seeing on them drifts. So I'll put this in. You can use one side and the other. Now, when you're using this, if you want to push in hard, you know, you're not pushing and leaning real hard like you are on the Northern Aztec press, like Jim Fire Eagle was showing. You're not pushing that hard. You're pressing lightly most of the time. If you're using big bifacing, you're pushing harder, and bam, you're driving harder with a little bit bigger of a tool. But this, you're just pressing a little bit. You're mostly pushing, like I said, with your thumb up against this so that it's supporting this. The platform is going along the rounded edge underneath. For those of you who are brand new at this, don't worry. Again, right now this is just the first demonstration thing. I will be getting into demonstrating all of that and telling you, you know, about the whole process of the platforms and if you have interest, you're probably looking at some of the other videos out there and seeing all that as well. So I'm just barely tapping, setting the edges up. That's my daughter in the background that you're hearing, kind of hitting her sticks together. And so I'm just kind of shaping it. I mean, these, you can see they're just tiny, thin flakes.
I'm Flintknapping.
And remember, you need that hole in there for really those thin flakes. You're able to use the palm with a pad in there, of course. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch over and take a, you can see where the curve of that kind of is down here. So I'm going to take a thinning flake along there after I set this up a little bit more with the bird's eye view. And if you notice on that, okay, I'm just barely tipping up and then pow. So this acts kind of like a counterweight. And what all this also does is, on the matter of in shock, is that it seems to disperse the energy so much better with having this. And I don't know the physics of it yet, but there's something going on with this on in shock, because I'm stitching, if I'm doing a piece instead of a spall or something else, if I'm stitching a piece of cut stone, I'll typically have more issue with my billets and striking and everything of in shock until I have a really good convexity starting to be built up more. With this, I'm finding that I'm stitching fast, it's staying together more. At any rate, I'm talking too much.